Hello and welcome everybody to Friday Night Racing Action here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Arca series as they take on the treacherous, the dangerous, the almighty place of speed, and that is here at Talladega, where these guys will complete 70 laps here with beating, banging, bumper grinding action, door to door, side by side, three wide action all race long, and we cannot wait to get this party started. And as always, we'd like to get these things kicked off with the national anthem, which of course today is all in tribute here to all the veterans out there on this Veterans and Remembrance Day for our Canadian brethren up to our north. We thank you guys that have served and are currently serving, as man, you guys make this country, or I should say countries, the place that it is. And this is Canada's kind of Memorial Day, so up there we also respect and remember the great losses that they have suffered as well.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these great races are only being able to be brought to you because of some fantastic partners and sponsors, such as Davidson Builders on board all season long up there in that northern New Jersey area. If you're looking to do any remodeling or home extensions or anything like that, be sure to get in contact with them. Same thing with JP Designs and 3D Prints. Get in contact with JP down here and get yourself some fantastic paint schemes here for iRacing, as well as some 3D printing and button boxes and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and go support him. You can also get in contact over there at Admin Box to get the premier button box solution for race control admins, that you can throw a yellow flag, do black flags, do wave rounds, do whatever you need to do here, all at the push of a singular button. Big thank you, as always, of course, to TrackDogsRacing.com, the proud merchandising supplier over here for the Numb Thumbs Racing League, as well as Track Bar Media. Go ahead and check them out for all their photos and videos of real life and sim racing coverage that they have done. Absolutely fantastic photos and videos over there, as well as SimGearCentral.com. Get your crazy button box over there. It's got all the buttons, dials, flips, knobs, anything you can possibly think of, all within arm's reach to help elevate your sim experience. Order now at simgearcentral.com and mention NTRL and AAA Broadcasting to get yourself 10% off your next order. And we do, of course, have another sponsor to talk about here. We'll get to them when we have a action replay. So until that moment, I am Alan Brown, and I unfortunately have officially killed Bambi, but that's okay. I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English. Alan, we are live here once again at Talladega, one of the trickier cars to drive around here tonight, where bump drafting really isn't a thing you can really get along with.
No, man, these things are shaped like a doorstop. You try to stick the pointed nose of that thing underneath somebody's rear bumper, and it's going to just lift their rear tires off the ground. Y'all are both going to go for a ride. Yeah, you can run around here without bump drafting, though. That's the great thing. You can go up and touch somebody, but don't try to push them. Just getting close to somebody, you're still going to be sharing that air resistance, and you're going to improve your speed. These guys are running around out here about 4 to 5 seconds slower than they were in the practice session in groups. So that just goes to show you how important the draft is here. And as these guys get the qualifying laps knocked out, we're getting ready to see some exciting racing. New damage model on these Arca cars. Reminder about that. So when we do see some horrific crashes, which we'll probably see here before this race is over with, you're going to see some parts flying tonight.
Yeah, that we shall. As down there on pit road, ready for those hammers to start flying. That's Mr. Adam Turner down there. Adam coming back here after a rough, wild ride over last week at Phoenix. Maybe some tempers boiling over, and we get to see who's going to be able to work with who here tonight.
Yeah, it's all about teamwork here at Talladega. We're going to throw that one out the window. We'll forget about what happened last week. I probably did. I think I might have had a couple too many cold ones watching that. That was pretty brutal. However, I don't think tonight will be the same way. But first off, I'd like to thank Mr. English for his service.
Thank you, buddy.
For your service. I'm going to drink some Busch Light for you.
It was an honor to serve, man. Appreciate it. I was one of the lucky ones. Remembrance Day up there in Canada today. They're remembering all the guys that didn't come home. So
yeah, and I'll drink some Canadian Royal for those guys.
There you go.
Well, during the race. I mean, of course, it's Friday night, guys. Let's
let loose a little bit.
Let's have some fun. We do. We enjoy this Num Tums Racing League Arca Series. Crazy cars, man. These cars are fun in this draft. I know. We are going to see some action, some crashes. Somebody might hate somebody after this thing's over, but that's all in fun. This is what we love to see. I'm excited to see tonight because we got 2 fast repairs, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires. That doesn't matter, and 25 incident points. You're going to be disqualified. I don't think that will matter much. The track is really hot, 122 degrees last I checked. Might make it a little bit slippery, but I think these guys can handle it. Where they're going to have problems is when they're in that draft and people are trying to make moves.
That indeed. As we take a look at that race info here tonight, this 2.66 mile racetrack with that start finish line just a little bit after that kind of tri-oval section here. So that always leads its way to a fantastic finish here tonight. But of course, daytime here, no lights at Talladega, so they're racing in the sunshine, and it looks like absolutely no weather problems in store for them here today. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race. And man, you can look, but you can't touch. I know English, we kind of touched on it just a little bit earlier, but man, you really cannot bump draft in these things. That front wedge just does not line up well with that back bumper.
Yeah, these guys will be all right, though. I think the guys in this series have gotten used to, that characteristic of the Arca cars. I think they'll be just fine out there. Nicky Short reminding us that a fellow veteran, a fellow Air Force retiree out there, Vincent Short, in the number 15 car, I'm sorry. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Vincent. And happy Veterans Day as well. Born on Veterans Day.
Well, happy birthday. That's awesome. Double celebration right there for the veteran.
Beers.
Thank you for your service. Another Air Force guy. Y'all must be buddies, man.
Well,
guys, you guys seem to be you always tell me y'all are the smartest ones. Is that true?
I never said that. I never make that claim.
I'm just trying to get somebody fighting. You have never said it. I just made it up. So
But I do get the question every now and then. Oh, you're in the Air Force. You might know us. You might know so and so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 50 million of y'all, pretty much 50,000, whatever. But that's pretty awesome that he's out there. Happy birthday to him. Yeah, bump drafting. Somebody's gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you get two, I don't know how to say this politically correct, but competent people lining up, you can do it. I know myself in a kind of like a fun race. One of the friends of the show, Michael Adamson, I was able to stay hooked on his bumper just fine without too much of an issue, but that was also because he was able to keep that car dead straight, and I was able to keep my car straight on his tail end, and we were able to bump draft that way. But you start mixing a whole bunch of other cars in here, like I think we got 30 cars in here tonight, and that's going to turn into a whole separate situation.
So you can even say touch, but don't bump. You know, that's when you get in trouble, is when you're putting a little bit too much pressure on that car. Sorry, I got the hiccups here.
Perfect. But yeah, most of the problem is guys are racing these Xfinities or trucks. You can really you can take a real good run at the back end of the car and push them with a hard bump, and here you will wedge yourself underneath. So totally different car.
Indeed, as it looks like all the people that want to qualify here tonight have done so. So we're just waiting on this qualifying session to finish up here in just a few moments. Goodness.
Well, we got 5 seconds left here. If you haven't made your qualifying laps, you're not going to make it, boys and girls.
Not at all, as qualifying has now come to a close. So we get to send it on down there and let these guys grid on up for the first time here tonight and try to get this party started here. Let's try to get a good camera angle here, just like that one. That one works just fine. As Nicholas Coate is going to be your pole position winner right now. Going to have the 14 of Matthew Smith starting on his outside here tonight. The 315 of Zach Millett will start in third in that second row, with the 747 of Albert Anderson, America's driver, starting here in fourth. Double O Joe Bennett starting in a top 5 spot, with the 6 of Steve Singer starting in sixth. The 60 of Brian Neff had a great race on, I believe it was Monday night. Coming out here once again to race with us here, qualified in 7th, with the 52 of Ricky Wittenberg going to be starting here in 8th. 9th, we're going to have the 53 of the coach, or Slim, or whatever name you want to pick for him, James Bowden, starting up here inside this top 10 in 9th, with birthday boy in the 15, rounding out tonight's starting top 10, it will be Vince Short.
The number 1 machine of our boss man over here at NTRL, Derek the Bearded Wonder, Mr. Bogus himself. He's got 1,000 names worth 1,000 hats. He'll be starting inside row 6 to his outside, the 70 of Robert Amaral. Row number 7 is going to be Michael Dunn in the 61 and the 03 of Dylan Bryant. Row number 8 is going to be Josh Bittner in the 84 on the inside, and Larry Dickerson in that 69 car on the outside. Row number 9 is going to be Mark Collins in the 23 machine down low, and 76 of Jeff Ottinger to his outside. And row number 10, and rounding out your top 20, the 728 of Timothy Pope and the 66 of Chef Matthew Jones.
Yeah, 13, Chris Klein will start 21st. 72, Carson Conway 22nd. 24, Toby Collins 23rd. 79, Dave Hoitzma 24th. 63, Dave Holmberg, a couple of Daves there, 25th. 97, Toby Blakesley will start this thing, 26th. 73, Josh Keller will be 27th. Number 26, Peyton Aldrich, 28th. And double nickel, Tom Barish, old trusty Tom, will be there in 29th.
Dave's not here, man. You remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's all over that 24th and 25th position.
And of course, we do have some drivers out here with some face cam action here, just to bring a little more realism to the fans out there at home. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these guys, such as it's going to be that one of Derek Welch out here racing with us in that number 1 machine. Right around him, we do have that 15 of Vince Short jumping on here with that face camera. And of course, as always, the Double O Joe hanging on out here with us as well. We thank you guys for jumping on in there into the face cams and letting the YouTube peoples kind of join you in your life here for a minute.
Yeah, a couple cool throwback looking paints. Got the 62 out there, running that Tide machine paint. I always like that one. Let's see, Chef Boyardee's got that, Matt Jones has got that Cold Trickle Days of Thunder mellow yellow paint.
Iron Nap in the 60s got that Win Dixie paint, which is always pretty
That's
cool.
a Mark Martin paint, I think, wasn't
I think so. Of course, Chris Klein in the Wonder Bread paint. That was Cal Non Jr. special.
it? Classic. He drove the Old Spice car.
Oh, that's true. I just love
Bobby.
Cal Naughton. Love his name.
Well, either way, we get stacked up and ready as the pace car makes its way on down into pit road for the first time here tonight. Nick Coate and Matthew Smith side by side entering that Geico restart zone for the first time. Green flag racing here at Talladega Superspeedway as we go side by side down and across the line into turns 1 and 2. A solid start throughout this field. Absolutely no issues whatsoever to complain about as both lines stay close knit together here. The 6 giving a good little shove here to that 747 of Albert Anderson, trying to get back up to that back bumper of the 14 here to try to get him a run here on that outside and hopefully get around that 5 of Nicholas Coate down this long back straightaway. Heading on down now into turns 3 and 4 as the shuffle and bustle continues all the way through this field. Everybody trying to hold their lines, hold their spot, and try to make things happen here tonight as they exit turn number 4 now, still side by side here as they come through the tri-oval. Just a few hundred more feet left to go, and our first lap has now been completed with some action happening already up at the front, going 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide, 3-4 rows deep here. These guys saw the opportunity to get a hold of that outside line. Talladega's wide enough here. These guys could afford to go 3 wide a little bit here.
The 6,
Yeah, he's pretty wide. But wow, go ahead, Brian.
the 6, a little tentative, but decided on the ultimate decision of jumping on out here. He's joining Ricky Wittenberg all the way out to that far outside lane. Dylan Bryant out there as well, trying to help these guys stay up there 3 wide, as tight against the wall as they can make it. A little bit of a bobble up here at the front as the 5 kind of jiggle-jangled a little bit, causing the 14 to move up the track just a little bit. And of course, as quickly as it started, the 3 wide is starting to kind of die on down.
Yeah, these guys 3 wide here, 195 miles an hour in these Arca cars.
Well, you can't really sustain it for a long period of time in these cars. They do throw a lot of air off each other, and so you see all that movement. You know, it's almost like a centipede. Not everybody is holding a straight line, and that's due to the force of the air coming off the other cars. It's very difficult to hold a 3 wide here in Arca cars.
Albert Anderson, one of those guys trying to jump out there and maybe get some 3 wide action working here with that 6 of Singer. Not quite there just yet, though, as everybody not quite ready to maybe race that hard as of right now. So he's going to be trying to find a way to shuffle back in the line here at some point, as almost touching down here up at the front with Coate, and looked like it was, that was actually the 14, and probably more of the 315 as Zach Millett almost getting together, a little door-by-door side-banging action going on as we continue to shuffle on through the 66 of Chef Boyardee. Matthew Jones he's hunting his way up through this field. He's already up 12 spots right now, hanging around in 8th.
He's caught some really big runs, and has been able to split some cars and even pass some cars on the outside. So the 66 taking advantage of some huge runs here and just making stuff happen when he gets to the cars in front of him.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where you want to be this early in the race, though. Do you want to be in the back? Do you want to be in the front? I don't know. In the middle seems a little dicey for sure.
He is not definitely mellow in that mellow yellow machine. He is hungry and trying to get himself onto a podium finish here tonight as we continue to put laps away here from Talladega. Total of 70 laps need to be turned here at a minimum. There's a good chance, though, we will see some maybe bonus racing action here, as we had 28 drivers take to the grid, and we still have 28 drivers all bunched up inside this main pack.
So far, so good, man. Everybody's playing nice with each other so far.
Well, that's rare. But the key is just stay in the lead pack like double nickel. Trusty Tom Bearish back here. He's fine. You can ride back here and still win this thing. Chump to champ, champ to chump. That's how this thing works here at Talladega. As long as you are on the lead lap and probably within the first 10, 12 trucks near the end of this thing, you got a chance at it.
Indeed, as they make their way on down the back straightaway here, that 55 just kind of hanging off towards the back end of this thing. Looks like we're almost getting a little bit of a split. Looks like Jeff Ottinger and Josh Kelleher are starting to maybe get a little bit of a gap, but they are still within drafting range.
6 is around, down into the exit of the pit lane, backwards into the inside wall hard. Steve Singer, a lot of damage on that 6 machine. We saw a big checkup happening there right around the 6. I didn't see exactly what caused all that.
Well, let's go ahead and try to take a look back at it here with that 6 machine of Steve Singer. Oh, I think just a little bit of a bobble down there onto the apron with some people in front of him. And he tried to check up, and the one to Derek Welsh was right there on his tail. And that kind of sent those guys on down. Of course, the 6 getting the worst end of that stick here, but Derek Welsh also dropping off the back of this field as well.
Well, they're going to need a caution at some point to get them caught back up. Luckily, they're still out on the track running, but they are damaged, need to go in, get prepared. So they're going to have a tough go if we keep going green here.
I got the 70 of Robert Amaral up here now on this far outside lane, trying to give a good bump to that 15, the Trek Bar Media Racing Machine of Vince Short, trying to stay in line with him here on that far outside lane. But we really haven't seen that kind of lazy Susan that we tend to see either in the trucks or the next-gen cars like we typically see here, Alan. It's been pretty much Coat and Smith guiding both lanes around here.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see any of that. Maybe later on in the race we'll see something like that. I'm not really sure. The arrow is definitely different here. Was that Singer on the inside on the apron?
It was.
Quit.
I don't know if he pitted. Yeah, he was coming out of the pits there. Oh, we got another crash up front.
Oh, it's the 5 crashing from the lead.
No, bigger crash.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's for sure a yellow.
Ooh. There was a lot of things that just happened. I can't comprehend it all, Brown.
No, not at all. So let's start off the replay here, which is being brought to you by Country Through the Ages. Jumping on here as your action replay sponsor here. Let's see what happened with the 5. It kind of looks like the 315 was kind of moving down low, and the 5 drifted up like half a lane here, and bumpers got kind of mixed and mangled there, and What happened else? Let us see here. That also started up kind of towards the front as well, right around near Matthew Jones here. Let's go ahead and jump on up to our chopper camera here. Oh, little bit firm of a bump draft there from the 15. Looks like to the 14 here. Might have just been a little bit of a checkup, and that's exactly what happens. You can just, I'm gonna have to try to slow this one down, but you can just see the back end of the 14 just get lifted straight up off the ground, and I mean that's just gonna spell disaster for anybody here as he heads on down into the 66, and all carnage then starts to break on loose.
Boy, that took out a lot of people.
Matt Jones says, I don't know how I made it through that one, but thank God I did. He's got a big day tomorrow, doing a restaurant takeover tomorrow in Atlanta. Taking a little break from all the work he's doing down there to do a little racing tonight. Glad to have you with us.
Ooh, Carson Conway in the 72, and behind all this, ran into the 97. That caused some more stuff, so everybody's got a part of this one.
Yeah,
Big mess.
Pretty big mess out there. We saw Albert Anderson getting involved. Looked like Timothy Pope got involved a little bit there. Definitely, but I'm willing to bet a good 2/3 of this field probably had some point of contact there through that wreck as it happened kind of up towards the front as everybody comes on down into pit lane, getting some fuel, getting some damage, except for the 97 of Toby Blakesley here. I think he missed his pit box.
Oh, man. That sucks when that happens.
Yeah, 72. Carson Conway did think the same thing. He was trying to like Days of Thunder that whole situation. Didn't work out.
Well, as always, we're happy to have our great fans with us here, as always, tonight. And just a reminder to all those that may be tuning in for the first time here is be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, as over here at AAA Broadcasting we bring you 5 nights of racing a week, and you don't want to miss a single point of action of that. And that ringing that notification bell will alert you on your phone, which is even better because, you know, how many people have we heard like, man, I hate to miss this race, but, you know, I gotta run off to work. Hey, put it on your phone, put some earbuds in. You know, the boss won't know that you're watching us here. You can have yourself a good time listening to all the action and not being able to miss out on anything. And if you like what you see, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and that just kind of helps us get the word out to more and more people across that YouTube algorithm to help us grow our great community of fans out here and have just as much fun, if not even more.
Yeah,
Now off of the pace car. Go ahead, bud.
No, anything in the HR manual, there's nothing about watching iRacing on your phone. Everybody knows that. So do what Brown says. And even if they do have that in their handbook, break the rules. Every once in a while, you got to break a little rule, you know, just one or two.
Yeah.
I mean, Brown was breaking rules today when he didn't get a hunt license to kill that deer.
Hey, killed a deer with an 18-wheeler. Golly. Didn't know it was truck season up there already.
Apparently so.
Man, it's always truck season, and you know, does it really count if there's no deer left? That's the question.
No, because you
No
didn't get
edible meat.
You got no hamburger, you know, so no, you're good.
No, you know, it's like the whole if a tree falls in the wood and no one's there to hear it, does it still make a sound? You know, did it even happen if there's no evidence?
I saw the blood on your lug nuts in that picture you sent.
Yeah,
so-
you
Yeah,
actually
there's a
showed
little
us
evidence.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Whatever.
No, kidding. That was pretty cool. I'm glad you're okay. It's dangerous in the roads up there this time of year, I imagine.
Yeah, and
Cold weather's got them moving too.
well, it's not cold today. It's gonna be, I think, 60 overnight as we're getting some tropical rain right now.
Hey,
I don't know. Man,
it's
it's,
a lot colder than that out here.
I think we've had more 60, 70 degree days up here than we did all summer, basically. But either way, we get racked up and stacked up and ready to go back racing here tonight. 00 Joe Bennett in the 66 of Matthew Jones going to get things fired off here with the 60 of Brian Neff and the 53 of James Bowden. Starting up here as well, Mark Collins, Tom Barish, Chris Klein, Josh Kelleher, Derek Welsh, and looks like Zach Millett all up here inside this top 10 as that pace car trundles on down into pit lane here as we get ready to head on back to green flag racing. Down through the trial they go. Green flag is waving, and away we go for the second time here tonight at Talladega, side by side, down and across the line into turns 1 and 2. Looks like a little sluggish start here for that outside lane. They're going to have to really regroup and restack to try to make a run here as that 00 Joe Bennett machine takes off on out in front.
Even these Arca cars have a great sound when they're taking off, running up through the gears. Cars sound great here. Sure, if Greta Thunberg could hear it right now, she'd be shedding a tear as they burn all this gasoline out here tonight at Talladega.
Listen up, mother. Ooh.
Ooh.
The old Greta Thunberg memes or gifs. Is it a
ready.
gif or a meme or whatever? The one with the Tiger Man. The Tiger Man, that's the best.
People rolling coal on their diesel engines and stuff.
Yeah, I can't get enough. I want every time I come across one, I have to watch it. It's amazing. Yeah, that person was made in a laboratory, Greta Thunberg or whatever. She needs to go back to Norway or where the hell she's from and keep her business over there because we got racing to do here in America with real fuel.
73 at Kelleher, another throwback paint running old Dale Senior GM Goodwrench service truck. Jeff Ottinger with one of the best paints out there, though. We saw him bring one of those paints to a win the other day. Big Ass Fans sponsored 76 machine.
I'd like them to sponsor us so we could each get one of those out in the shop.
Oh man, those things are
really
incredible.
nice.
They move air like a hurricane, man. That's just those products around. Look at Tim Pope working the back of the 84. I'm sure they're just kind of riding around back here right now, but 728. This isn't really what you'd call a technical track. This is just kind of, managing your air around you. But never count out the 728 of Pope, even at a plate track.
Oh, look at the 23 of Mark Collins. Bailed out here on the 66, who was trying to give him some help here on this outside lane. He saw the number 1 of Derek Welsh, one of his partners here over at Num Thumbs Gaming, jump on up and around. Oh, other people jumping on up here as well now as 13 of Chris Klein sees the run coming up here on this outside lane, trying to pick up some runs as the 23 of Mark Collins continues to shove on forward here, side by side here, 2 wide racing at Talladega.
Gotta be careful. I see a couple of cars crossing the yellow line down there low to try to get some air in their grill to get some cooling. Can't really do that in the turns here. That transition from the apron to the racing surface is pretty abrupt. It's a pretty sharp angle there. So you got to be careful about getting car on that apron, and you can really get a car to go around doing that.
And just like that, the 69 of Larry Dickerson picking up a bit of a run here, tried to make his way around the outside of the 14 machine, but that run got kind of parachuted away here, and he's going to tuck right back into line as the shuffle and bustle continues to happen here as we're 3 wide in front of him. Looks like big ass fans of Jeff Ottinger goes side by side here, and they were able to figure out that 3 wide, but not before it got a little dangerous.
Yeah, he rubbed on the 62 Tide machine just a little bit right there. Is that his actual number?
He's 61.
No, there's always one. You know, there's always that guy.
Who's that guy?
There's one of y'all out there, and I'm going to call you out every time, as it makes our job a little difficult, because we see 10,000 paint jobs in a week when we're doing this. So it's hard to keep track. But one paint job, number 52, Ricky Whitberg. I love that one. WKRP in Cincinnati. Anybody old enough to know that show? Dr. Fever and all that. That's some good stuff.
I heard they're bringing back Night Court. Did you?
That was a pretty good show. I don't know if it's worthy of bringing back.
I mean, the guy that played Bull is dead. I know that.
But Harry's still
Anderson,
alive.
Harry Anderson, is he still alive? Because I didn't see him in the promo thing that I saw on
Maybe he is.
Facebook.
I'm gonna have to use my Googler. I don't know. He was pretty funny. He was He was actually a magician. Did you know that? That was his thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a magician first, I believe. But anyway, keep racing down here.
I was gonna say, you mentioned the guy who played Bull. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's DeNozo from NCIS. But talking about a different show.
Court. Yeah,
Totally.
the bailiff on Night Court. So,
He was funny. There we go.
As we continue to race side by side, some side by side here, as the 69 is up on that far outside lane, up at the front, hard contact. That's gonna be a absolute mess as 00 Joe Bennett goes for a wild ride. How did everybody else figure something out of that one? Able to continue driving on here, so no yellow being thrown as the 60 of Brian Neff is gonna take control of this race as the whole field just got scattershot.
Joe Bennett's left front wheel is very, very crooked. That thing, I can't believe he's still been able to drive it. He's going to have to come down from pit repair there as he's got a meatball flag.
Yeah, there's that huge runoff on that area of the track that I guess they thought everything was clear. It still looked like to me there should have been a caution. But I think iRacing's throwing cautions here, so
Yes, sir.
that's how it works.
Matthew Jones out there in the chat saying we barely made it through again, but we did it. Quit texting and driving, Matt. Get out there and pay attention.
How is he doing that, man? He must have like a voice to text or something.
Maybe he's got like a secretary.
Oh, another one up in the wall.
9-1.
Larry Dickerson trying to make it 3 wide here. Just had a little bit too much of a run, pushing him out to that far outside wall. Little bit of a scrape, but able to keep it on the center here as we continue to race under the green flag conditions here. The 03 of Dylan Bryant hanging on here, trying to creep his way up into this top 10. Same thing with Tim Pope, Josh Bittner as well. But up here, up at the front is going to be the 52 of Ricky Wittenberg.
Chef is even quoting movie lines with correct punctuation while he's driving. He just quoted Cole Trickle, said, with all due respect, I'm going to do some driving.
Okay, that's pretty talented if you can do that while you're driving this. I usually, when I'm at Talladega, I just one hand on the wheel and one hand on the beer. You know? So you can do it, but it's just a little talent.
How about Wittenberg out here?
Oh, more contact. Oh, hard impact down into Josh Bittner. Larry Dickerson go for a wild ride down there, entering pit road and across the grass. Oh, Larry Dickerson all the way back out onto the track, and that is going to bring out the caution.
Oh, 62 just went around, or 61, I should say, of Dunn going for a ride as well. That happened during the checkups there, I think, for the caution.
Well, they should have. iRacing should have called that a little bit earlier than they did. Yeah, there's a car was just sitting in the middle of the roadway. Wow.
Yeah, it took a little while to come out, but glad it did finally.
Indeed, as let's go ahead and take a chopper cam view here. As we started off with the 03, the 69, and the 66. I think the 66 ended up checking up the 69 here, which got him a little squirrely down into the 55, and man, he was along for the ride, and unfortunately that ride also involved that 84 of Josh Bittner. Robert Amaral, though, once when things started checking up something, Yeah, that car was sitting just right there in the middle of the track, wasn't it?
Yeah, forever. They
Oh.
never called the caution. Nobody knew it was there until it was too late. That's what they finally threw the caution.
And that's Larry Dickerson. Let's go ahead and take a view out his gearbox here. I think his truck was dead. Oh my goodness. Ugh. That is not
Pretty scary.
That is not something. I don't care how tight your seatbelts are or how many different pairs of diapers you have underneath that race suit, man. You're gonna need to change everything.
Man, it's
Yeah,
almost
it might be
you bring out the diaper. I don't know if I haven't told the diaper story, the astronaut story in a
No,
while.
because we're not at Daytona. We're not in Florida.
Well, we're close. I mean, she probably passed through this. I know she passed through the state of Alabama. At some point, you had to pass through Mobile to get through there.
Yeah, it's not down. It's not down there though.
Well, I mean, I know the diaper story regardless.
I know you do.
Anyway,
I believe
Yeah, that
you
was-
on the pit lane.
yeah, everybody's coming down. Yeah. It's 60 degrees where you're at, Brown. Man, real cold here. Yahtzee.
Indeed, as we're having some pit road action down here, we do have some people staying on out, like Albert Anderson and Nicholas Cope, last pitted back there on 11 and 10, as we're almost getting down to halfway here. We're about 10 laps away from it here, Mr. English.
Yes, sir. And it looks like Ricky Wittenberg got beat coming out of the pits there by the 60 machine of Brian Neff.
Looks like a bunch of fuel only here. Pit times
Yeah.
hanging around that 7-second mark, and I think these cars have a smaller fuel filler hose kind of thing, so it takes a little bit longer to put fuel in here, but that's okay. Still pretty good times as well. So you got the 76 of Jeff Ottinger out here as well. 79 of Dave Hoytsma. He's going to be jumping up here inside this top 10. Tom Barish up 20 plus spots. Peyton Aldridge, one of our other favorite Peytons. Peyton McGowan. I know you love watching Josh Bittner out here. If you're in chat, love to see you out here again. But the 26 machine hanging on out here inside this top 5 right now too.
So Anderson and Cope did not come down on this yellow. So maybe playing a little game out there. Bit strategy game. Hoping another one comes out here soon.
Excuse me. And so we are here under pace, and let's go ahead and talk to some of one of these drivers here. Let's talk. Speaking of Peyton, let's talk to Peyton here. As Mr. Peyton Aldridge, you got a coffee here, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Man, things been a little rough and tumble out there, but everyone's doing okay as we're kind of approaching the halfway point in this race. You're up 23 spots right now here in 5th. What have you guys been kind of noticing out there on the track? Have you seen people maybe trying a little too hard making moves, or do you think it's just been kind of like the ebb and flow that we see at plate tracks?
A little bit of both. Kind of the ebb and flow for sure. People are being a little aggressive, especially only 24 laps into this. But, I mean, that's what you get. This is Talladega. That's what people like. That's what people like to do. Cars are real loose, too. That doesn't help any.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're seeing with the loose condition has something to do with a really, really hot track temp out there. It's over 120 degrees on the track. So, well, good luck. Hopefully you can get that number 26 Monster Energy Chevrolet up there in a good finishing spot tonight.
Thank y'all, guys. Thanks for the show y'all put on. I enjoy it.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
We appreciate it. And Peyton, because I have the memory of a goldfish, I think you came from the APX Motor Channel, right?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck, brother.
Okay, thank you, man.
Man, it's hard to remember everybody's teams and where they're supposed to come
hey,
from.
Man, I'm with you. Especially when you're doing 5 nights a week, everybody's kind of on different teams each night. Yeah, it gets to be a load on your mind, that's for sure. As these guys come down the Alabama gang super stretch here, getting ready to head into 3 and 4 and get this thing restarted. Lights are out on that pace car. Albert Anderson and Nicholas Coate going to lead this thing off.
Hey, where's that Anderson army here tonight? We're missing a bunch of people.
Yeah, we're missing a few tonight. Well, it's Friday night. You know, a lot of people are doing stuff other than checking out iRacing on Friday nights. So they might have a family gathering or something going on. Heck, they might be in the room there with him. Who knows?
Who knows? As we are stacked up behind this pace car here, Albert Anderson and Nick Coate. Nick Coate back up here towards the front now once again as the pace car comes on down into pit lane. Brian Neff, Ricky Wittenberg, Peyton Aldridge, Matthew Jones, Jeff Ottinger, Dave Hoytsma, Derek Welsh, and Dylan Bryant are all up inside this top 10, but don't you sleep on the 24. Toby Collins, Zach Millett, Carson Conway, and James Bowden, as well as everybody else in this field as we head on back to green flag racing here from Talladega. Albert Anderson with a good restart here, trying to get that 60 to pull right back up onto him here. That's the 5 of Nick Coate with absolutely nobody behind him right now.
Yeah, I think the key right here for Anderson to hold on to that spot is just stay low. Stay on that yellow line. Make them pass you on the outside because the outside has not been very organized here in this race so far. Inside line is a safe place to be right now.
Speaking of inside line, got a couple people looking like they're trying to maybe move backwards through this field right now, like the 72, Carson Conway jumping down to the apron and rejoining the track right in front of the 6 of Steve Singer. Thankfully, there was enough of a gap there that they were able to survive that little kerfuffle here. But yeah, at that time, there was a moment where Nick Coate, if he had slowed down just a little bit, there was a little bit of a gap. He could have slid down onto that bottom line, but that has since been closed, but so has the gap behind him here as the 66 is trying to get back up to that rear bumper.
Yeah, I like the 79 of Hoytsma's. He's actually got a service paint out there today, United States Navy, all over that 79 machine, patriotic paint scheme, American flag on the side of it. Love it.
You can't go wrong with an American flag, can you?
Yep, on the back of it, it's a tribute paint to Henry Hoytsma, Seaman Second Class, U.S. Navy. Good tribute paint there, Dave.
Well, America's driver, Albert Anderson, is leading with a total American paint job.
Oh, yeah. He's always running that patriotic stuff. It's great.
Oh, of course, because
two mellow yellow cars there together. Two different eras of paint job there.
Yeah, the 5 and the 66 catching up onto that 26. A little bit of a checkup there as they were coming with a big head full steam of run. So that's going to check up that line just a little bit, but they are slowly regrouping that outside lane now as the one of Derek Welsh has been kind of shuffling back and forth between the lines, trying to improve and continue to climb up through this field. Same thing with that 70. Looks like we have a guy almost getting stuck here in the middle. Looks like he has since drifted on down to at least the bottom lane here. But either way, we continue to race green flag laps here tonight. Coming up on 5 laps to go before halfway. Of course, no competition yellow here. It's just a little kind of race marker we'd like to throw out here is, you know, once when halfway crosses, that's when dials start being turned up from 5 or 6 all the way up to 8 and 9. And then, of course, in the final 10, that's when everything is up to 11.
Spinal Tap reference. I love it.
Well, we got another cool paint out there. It's the 97 of Toby Blakesley.
Matthew Smith.
One of the only Fords out here.
Matthew Smith having a little bit of an issue out here, hard into that inside wall. Oop. Let's as my damn thing just keeps changing on me. Let's see what happens with him here. That's not it. Oh, this is it. Oh man. Oh, the 53 gets knocked around as well, but the 14 of Smith, ooh, that is a wild bumpy ride. He got some airtime on that one. Just absolutely ramp trucked on it.
Man, I don't know. It's cold down here. I'm sorry. I had to have a bowl of chili. I'm so cold down here. It was so good. English. You like this chili?
I love some chili, man. I got a pretty killer recipe. I need to can some more of it so I have some reserves for later on.
Talk about an oxymoron. It's like, you know, jumbo shrimp. Chili, I've never had a cold chili. It's always hot.
It's true. You're really putting the brain power behind this whole situation. Ooh, but it's freezing outside. You gotta have a nice bowl of chili.
I had some chicken soup today. It's kind of cooling off here too.
Sometimes Brown says stuff and my brain freezes. I'm like, man. I start doing all this deep thinking. It's like, deep thinking on Saturday Night Live, deep thoughts with whatever. What was that, Jack Handy?
As we take a ride in the bumper of Albert Anderson here, looking backwards at that Winn-Dixie paint scheme of the 60 of Brian Neff, and you can just see that doorstop style shape of a hood. It's got like a little lip out in front of it before it continues on up, which is why bump drafting is so hard to do here as they continue to make laps here at Talladega. That outside lane, man, they've been trying to stay together, just haven't really been able to get a run going. As here we go on the far outside lane, we got somebody making some moves here. Looks like it's that 79 of Hoytsma sending it on down there with the help of 23 and Mark Collins.
Yeah, Mac's got to get a little closer to him though if they're going to make that outside line work. You can't really bump them real hard, but you got to be up, at least get up real close to him.
And they're getting some numbers kind of join up with them here as well. And now they're losing it here once again. You also have the one of Derek Welch making some moves, jumping up to that kind of middle lane here. Oh, it's the 79.
In the wall.
He goes up into the wall, scrapes it. That's going to check up everybody on that far outside lane. They're going to have to tuck right back down into that middle line here to regather up that momentum and have to replan their attack.
And just like that, his momentum's gone.
What happened to the 66 there? It looked like he pulled off the track. Did he get involved in that? Oh, he hit the wall. Caused some damage.
I had 60.
He said, I just blew my motor up.
Oh, there you go.
I read it on the YouTube chat. I cannot hear any in-game radio. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Are you able to hear it there?
I can hear him talking. Yeah, he didn't mention it on the radio, or if he did, I didn't hear it.
I need to troubleshoot this stuff.
Do some troubleshooting.
And while you're troubleshooting, the one is shooting his way up on that outside lane right now, side by side with that 747 of Albert Anderson. I think over here in this league, it's Matthew Jones. No, that's just him on the apron here. He's jumping to the pits. Thought we were having another wreck, but we were not. But Albert Anderson working with that one of Derek Welsh here. They are teammates over here at the Num Thumbs League, and they're now controlling both lanes here, Adam. The 03 of Dylan Bryant and the 60 of Brian Neff sitting tucked up behind him here. How good of a strategy is it to have teammates leading both lines up here tonight?
I mean, you can control the entire thing if you do it right. That's why people are probably trying to bounce around and get around on lane number 3 on the outside, because if you have an entire team controlling the front, it makes it very difficult for everybody else behind you. So great if you can make it happen, and it's well within the rules too, right? So you can use that strategy all day long. Teammates are huge at a giant track like this.
That they are, as we continue just past halfway point here tonight, as it looks like pretty much just about everybody still here up inside the racing here. We do have some people kind of falling off just a little bit. Toby Blakesley, Zach Millett is back here leading kind of a secondary pack with Steve Singer, Carson Conway, Josh Kelleher, James Bowden as well. I think Josh Kelleher had a connection problem a little earlier on, so he was able to figure things out. But 3 wide, 4 wide going on up here at the front as a big shuffle heads on way through the front of this field. That's going to give Derek Welch the run around the 747 of Albert Anderson. He's going to take it. The 03 of Dylan Bryant now kind of stuck here on this outside lane, trying to jump down to that bottom line. Not quite able to do it, though.
Wittenberg hit the apron when he saw all that going on. He's like, I'm not getting involved in that.
Something happened there with the lap traffic, and I'd have to rewatch it.
They caught up to the 14 really, really quick because he was running by himself, and they all kind of split him.
That's what it was. He's just
14
sitting
of
like
Matt Smith.
sitting duck in an AC Delco Chevrolet. Lucky nothing happened there.
As they go side by side here, lap 37 out of 70. Around here down through turns 3 and 4 right now. Derek Welch with Albert Anderson tucked up behind him. On the outside, we got that 03 of Dylan Bryant. He's got a little bit of help behind him as well. It's going to be the 26 of Peyton Aldridge. We talked to him just a little bit ago. We also have Nick Coate, Larry Dickerson hanging around up inside this top 10 as well. Out of the 28 drivers starting here tonight, we still have 27 running, 24 of which are on that lead lap, as Ricky Wittenberg looks like he has just been able to...
Oh, Big Rick. 26 in the 5. 26 just smashed the inside wall there. Peyton Aldridge. Curse of the broadcaster strikes again.
Oh my goodness.
No caution, though. Oh, there it is.
The 26 was still kind of stuck there on the racetrack as the secondary packs were coming on around, and that is exactly what Ricky Wittenberg and the rest of these guys needed to catch right back on up, as we were not quite coming up on green flag pit stops yet, but they were definitely starting to approach the possibility here. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened with that 26 of Aldridge.
Looks like
a
he
bump
tried to...
drafting deal.
No, he tried to blend back in. He was on the top line, and he tried to come back in. And yeah, and there was just no room. So I don't know who to blame that on, guys.
There could have been a little bit more give and take on both fronts there, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Peyton Aldridge claimed the incident was on him. But it probably was, but he could have opened up the lane a little bit, but you don't really have to, right? That's your lane. It's his job to get down in there, and it just kind of became a mess. But hey, nobody's fought anybody yet.
I know, you must be killing yourself down there.
It's getting a little frustrating, I'm gonna be honest. I may have to fight English after this one.
Yeah.
Just
Have some kind of...
Just take the 20-hour car ride and meet up at Pocono.
Oh my goodness, I'd love to. I'd put my fender right in his door. Turn 2.
We got to do it in our personal vehicles. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, something you paid for really make it hurt for you. You know? I mean, you only got me virtually. I got to get you back way more than that.
Oh, wow.
So we head on down into pit lane here. Looks like everybody making their final pit stops of the race, except for Nick Coate. Looks like Nick Coate staying on out there. Yeah, he last pitted on lap 10. He's definitely going to be running low on the fuel here, as Albert Anderson, with a fantastic stop, is going to be able to jump out there and take the lead, or win the race at least, coming off of pit road. 60 of Brian Neff, Derek Welch, Robert Amaral, Dylan Bryant, Dave Hoytsma, Vince Short, Larry Dickerson, and Jeff Ottinger all coming out of these pits, and they should, be good from here to the end. So be on the lookout here, as these guys are going to be racing hard here in these final 30 laps or so.
Yeah, it's going to be close there. But yeah, Anderson looked like a 2-tire stop. Looks like a couple of teams doing 2 tire stops, kind of alternating sides
That's smart.
on their
Very
car.
smart. You don't need tires here, honestly. You could probably on a race like this just get 1 set of tires for the whole, 2 sets for the whole race. Split it at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah. You halfway take another set. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
My brain has been broken ever since Brown broke my brain with the chili comment.
It'll be okay.
It's like, really.
You haven't just sit there and stared into space yet. And
Not yet. I'm still talking.
purple monkey
But-
dishwasher or anything like that.
Zabalaba. Zabalaba.
Zabalabadababa.
Yeah,
We haven't heard anything,
Oh, well, I mean, does that make me a senator? Can I be a
Well,
United
it
States
can
senator?
in certain states. You can
Okay.
still be a senator.
That's good. I need to be.
That's all we're gonna say about that.
Well, let's
Just for fun.
let's get another driver up in here, boys, and let's talk to a guy that's just hoping to finish the race, and that's going to be the 97 of Toby Blakesley here. Hey, Toby, it's the guys in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, running pretty good, up 15 spots right now, just outside of that top 10 by the looks of it. Coming up here, roughly 30 laps to go or so once when the green flag comes back out. Does it kind of sound like everyone's going to make it on fuel from this point, or do you think we're going to see, if it goes green, another round of green flag pit stops or something?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, is that we should be able to make it to the end with maybe a little bit of saving. If there's a caution, that'll help. The only thing that'll kind of catch us is if there's some green-white checkers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure.
Well, good luck out there, the Lard Lad Donuts Ford Taurus at 97. Good luck out there. Hopefully you can get in and at least get a top 5 out here tonight.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Hoping to make it to the end.
Awesome. Good luck.
And he gone.
Lard Lad. Wasn't that on... That was on The Simpsons, wasn't it?
I think
Is
so.
it?
I think it was.
I don't know. It's been a hot minute since I watched that show.
Same here. 20 years,
Have-
probably.
Have you watched one of the other cartoon with Cartman? What's that one?
South Park.
Yeah,
South
that
Park,
one's
yeah.
that one's pretty good. That's relative. He's got like hot topics of the day, and it's kind of gets into some cool stuff. I like that Cartman guy. He's funny.
We both kind of look like Cartman, sort of.
Was he fat? Yeah. Then okay.
But you can never tell, though. They're always wearing winter jackets.
It's cold down here right
Old
now.
Colorado, yeah. Oh, he's talking about you.
Oh, me or Cartman?
Cartman.
We're both the same. Just a couple of fatties running around
Couple
doing
fat
iRacing.
guys.
2 fat guys. When Brown's not here, we'll just call it, instead of AAA, it'll be the 2
Fat
fat
boys
ones.
racing, yeah.
The fat ones are over here doing the race tonight.
Well, speaking of the race,
we like cold ones. Sorry, Brown,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
sorry to cut you off there, buddy, but speaking of the race, we get ready to go back to green flag racing here with Albert Anderson and Brian Neff up here, up at the front. And you know what? Something we have not done in a good hot minute. And I'll tell you what, I need a break of talking. You guys need a break from talking. Let's go ahead and do some crank it on up on this restart and listen to these cars rumble as we go back to green flag racing. those cars loud and fantastic. Of course, that section of the Crank It Up cameras is all brought to you by TrackDogsRacing.com. Get your NTRL merchandise over there, whether it be hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, whatever. Be sure to go give them some love and get your NTRL swag here today. As the 84, speaking of, Josh Bittner running on that far outside lane, picking up a big run here now on Hoytsma, who is leading that kind of middle line. Timothy Pope giving a good chunk of shove there as well, trying to get Josh Bittner and himself up here towards the front as we have 26 laps left to go.
And Bittner with a teammate right behind him. That's Pope in another TrackDogsRacing.com sponsored machine. Really trying to make the outside line work. They got 00 Joe Bennett going to come up here and give him a hand.
It looks like the best shot at it so far tonight as far as forming up a line up top.
Yeah, so far
Yeah,
they're hanging around up there pretty good.
Here comes the run.
Uh-oh. Now we're almost trying to do this thing 4 wide. Tim Pope, I think, could drive a soapbox car and be good at it. He can. We see him in several different leagues. He's a hell of a driver.
I think he does some real life kart racing, I think.
Yep, go-karts, I believe. You can put him in a skid loader out here and he'll be on a podium somehow.
That's true. That's true.
Well, either way, as we remain 3 wide racing up here at the front, Brian Neff currently in the lead of this field, but Dave Hoytsma and the 84 of Josh Bittner with that big run make it 3 wide here for the race lead. Albert Anderson, Toby Collins, and Timothy Pope all fighting here for a possible second place as well, as we got that shuffle and bustle all the way through the field. You got the 13 of Chris Klein hanging on here in the middle line as he continues to put some laps down. He's got the 70 of Robert Amaral up here as well. That bottom line, though, they have the numbers. You got Jeff Ottinger all the way back here chasing these guys down in 16th, just outside of this madness. Same thing with that 315 of Zach Millett as well, as we continue to race 3 wide up here at the front.
See, here comes the run again, outside line. Kind of stalled out for now, but watch when they come out of turn number 2 here and get onto that backstretch. I think that's when the run's going to start coming again. But it dies out coming out of 4. That's the thing with that outside line, is it's great on that one part of the track, but if you can't get there and drop down and pick up a position, see, they just kind of stall out right there.
They also lost some numbers, though, as well, so it's really just Bittner and Pope right now up on that far outside lane. I think there's some people that are willing to go with them here. That's just they're not quite committed to the move just yet, as we're still 23 laps out from the finish of this thing. But man, look at Albert Anderson doing a great job on that back bumper of the 60 of Brian Neff. We saw that 60 doing the same thing to Albert Anderson here, just before that caution. They have now traded spots here, and of course the one of Derek Welsh is up here as well. But don't slack on that 24 Toby Collins, who's pushing the heck out of that 79 of Dave Hoytsman in that middle line. And of course, as I say that, there goes the 24 up to the outside lane.
He wants to join the party up here. 24 Toby Collins.
Well,
I haven't talked much about him tonight, but he's having a heck of a race.
He is, but you talked about Albert Anderson. He is great here at these plate tracks, and I don't want to jinx him because I think he's a great driver, America's driver. But he's really good at these plate tracks. Look at Tim Pope slip on down. He got out of it.
I think he's trying to leave a space for his teammate and partner there, and he does. So 84 Bittner able to slide on down, and that's the key here. When you have teammates around you, you can have a teammate move lane and then essentially, run like in a convoy. You have a lead vehicle, and they can tell you, hey, move in here, move out here. We'll leave you some gaps and whatnot. As a little bit of a shake up here at the front is Hoytsma, still with a big push from that 00 Joe Bennett machine.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have these teams, and they all have their own channels, so they can communicate with each other without everybody else having to hear it.
Well, I got 2 questions of the people out there. One of them, we hadn't seen much chatter out there tonight. I know it's Friday night, but normally everybody's more involved. So why don't we get involved? Y'all tell us what you think about what's happening out here. Now, Matt has been pretty involved, and I want to ask him a question. What the hell is a restaurant takeover? Is that where you fight somebody? Is like a hostile takeover? Where you have
They just run in there and say, "This is ours now."
yeah, we're taking this thing over, and I don't like your creme brulee, so we're gonna just jam it up your throat. I mean, what's happening with one of those?
Your recipe.
Yeah, I see. That's what I picture. I like fights. Anyway.
We are coming up on some lap traffic here, as of course Matt Jones, again, just focus on driving, buddy. You're in here in the middle of the pack, even though you're a couple laps down here. You're going to need both hands on that steering wheel as we got some lap traffic of the 5 up against the wall here as these guys try to shuffle on around. Looks like everybody not really doing too many shenanigans here. And everyone's going to be able to shuffle on around, getting a little tight, but we're okay.
Yeah, it's real tight. I think that Matt Jones is trying to text, and he almost hit Coat up there on the top. So you can save your answer for later about the restaurant business.
I picture like the fight they had on like the movie Anchorman.
Yes,
Just go in there
with
with a
a
bunch
trident.
of random weapons, you know.
Yeah, you got to have a trident.
I don't like your creme brulee. That was a good one.
We're taking it over. Oh, man.
Well, it is definitely a phone it in Friday, I guess, as we continue to race green flag here at Talladega. 19 laps left to go, and that dial, you can see it already being turned on up. We're still hanging right around a 9, but we do have people starting to pinch on down and try to get the side drafts, and everybody's starting to make their calculated moves here. However, talk about a calculated move, the 60 of Brian Neff. We kind of heard it when we were interviewing Blakesley here during that last caution. Man, oh man, he was saying it was going to be pretty tight. You might have to save a little bit, but if you're one of these guys up here at the front like Hoytsma or Neff, you ain't doing no saving whatsoever. That's going to give the people tucked up behind them here a pretty good chance at maybe at least finishing this thing without having to come back down to pit lane when those two guys, they're going to probably run out of fuel here.
Yeah, everybody behind us running, 3/4 throttle. But yeah, as a line leader, you're out there, you got your pedal all the way to the floor the whole entire time. So, yeah, it's gonna be rough for some of these guys on fuel mileage. I expect the 60 to be a little bit short.
Oh, the 13 Wonder Bread. Chris Klein making some moves here, making it 3 wide. Does Josh Bittner try to follow here? No, he does not. He stays locked in with Pope and Hoytsma on that middle lane. He was thinking about it, though. You could kind of see him peeking out just a touch. And that 13, with a little help from Double O Joe, I don't think it's going to be enough. They're going to need more numbers and even more people trying to come on up and help him out on up there. Vince Short in that 15. Normally we see him making a lot of noise here up at the front right now, still hanging around in that top 10 on that bottom line. Be on the lookout for Birthday Boy.
Yeah, we've seen him do some great things with the race car, and I mean, he's in striking distance right here. We talk about it a lot at Talladega. That's kind of the place to be. Third, fourth, fifth row, when all the leaders are wrecking each other, coming out of turn 4, heading towards the tri-oval. You just find a clean spot, go where they're not, and you can pick up a win like that.
Yeah, you definitely want to be in the place to be, especially when the maestro is there. But honestly, this is typical plate track stuff. We're gonna have some really good racing, and then we're gonna have some craziness happen. So we've seen a little bit of both. Right now, we're in the just kind of, let's get some laps going stage. But it's about to ramp up exponentially here shortly. I can't wait for that part because maybe we'll have somebody fight.
That's a lot of syllables for you, man.
What is that? What are those? What do you mean?
Syllables? You said exponentially. I was like, whoa.
Oh, I didn't know you had understood. I didn't know you could understand that. being from where you're from.
Well, Josh Bittner just gave that 79 of Dave Hoytsma one hell of a push, and Hoytsma was able to get clear of that 60 and drop on down to that bottom lane. Look at that 728, though, all over that back bumper of the 84. We said you can, look and not touch. Well, he's doing all the touching in the world and being very careful about it, making sure he is absolutely dead locked in. And that's what I was talking about when you get two competent guys being able to lock in those bumpers, man. It just aids you all that much more. And you can see the 84 being really able to give a good run here for that middle to outside lane.
As Conway Twitty said, you want a pusher with an easy touch. And he's doing it. He's pushing them. I think the 79
car up in the
down,
wall.
I think that's the first time we saw that tonight. The Lazy Susan actually working.
As
What
the
you got there, Brown?
6 of Steve Singer went up and scraped the outside wall. He's got a little bit of a gap right now. He can tuck back down into that middle lane. Looks like he will not use it just yet. He's going to try to stay and make this thing hanging on here on that outside lane. He's trying to talk some people like the 315 to join him up on out there and maybe make a run at going up here towards the front, as Josh Bittner in that middle lane putting in the work with some help from teammate 728 Timothy Pope, hanging on with the big boys down there on that bottom line of Neff and Hoytsma.
This has been an action-packed front end on this race tonight. These guys continuing to be very, very close. We even saw a little bit of side drafting from Hoytsma as the 84 was trying to get around him on the outside there. He really understands how those aerodynamics work here at these plate tracks.
Man, we're 3 wide back here with a 76 to 5 and a 315. They're getting kind of close to each other. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Yellow's out.
Well, I could feel that one almost, guys. A little bit of checkup, and I think that's what caused that.
It was definitely turning into a weird squeeze here as people just kept drifting up and up, and I think a little bit of a sandwich pinch going on up there on that high line between the 6 and it looks like that's the 72 as they trying to make their way through turns 3 and 4 there. Yeah, just a little hard. The 72 goes for a ride. Same thing with the 55 going for a little bit of a wild ride as well.
Yeah, when you're getting side drafted from both ways, which is kind of what it seemed like there almost. Yeah, you run out of room quick. I know this is a wide track, guys, but 3 wide, it's still not easy to do here. You got to be careful.
Ooh, let's take a look at that from the roof camera. Excuse me, of Josh. Josh Kelleher, as it happened just about right in front of him. You can see as traffic goes in, then wee up into the track. Okay, everyone doing okay. Everyone's alive. But either way, that's bringing out a caution here. We're gonna have 10 laps or so to go as we get back to the green flag racing, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come on down into the pits, top up on that fuel. I definitely expect the people who are leading these lines, like Hoytsma here, coming on down into the pits. Maybe running a little short here on fuel. Brian Neff, Chris Klein, Derek Welsh, Dylan Bryant, Robert Amaral, Toby Blakesley, all coming on down. Same thing with some other people here, but Josh Bittner, Timothy Pope, they stayed out. Albert Anderson, he stayed out. Double O Joe Bennett, 15 events short. Larry Dickerson, Toby Collins, Jeff Ottinger, and Steve Singer all staying out.
Looks like the YouTube chat perked up a little bit after you said something there, Adam.
Well, I had to call them out. We need to hear y'all. I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. I'm glad they piped in. I appreciate that joining us.
Casey Jones out there pulling for brother Matt out there. Nikki Short saying awesome broadcast. Let's go Vincent Short. Timothy Stubblefield Stubbs is here tonight saying let's go APX Motorsports. Who else we got? He's saying come on 79 Dave Hoytsma, hold the lead out there, buddy. Let's see. Good job, Chef, for staying clear of the wreck there from Casey Jones. Matt Jones is going to be the lucky dog, it looks like. That's what he says, but I'm showing him scored behind Nicholas Coate, who is 2 laps down. Let's see here what happened.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that he is the lucky dog looking at my screen, but the computer screen's not always perfect. So here's the deal with a track like this. Tires do not matter. Fuel is what matters here. And Brown, do you think everybody's squared away with fuel and everybody can make it to the end?
I'm surprised Bittner made the decision that he is going to stay out. I think because he's done a lot of lead laps, because he was making that outside line charge with Timothy Pope. He was like one of the main leaders in that. Albert Anderson, he was tucked up in there, given the push on that bottom line, so he might have been able to save a little bit of fuel. Same thing with Timothy Pope. He might have been able to save a little bit. I know Vince Short was definitely able to save a bit. He was kind of stuck in the middle of that bottom line, so he's I think if anybody who has a really good chance at this, Double O Joe Bennett, Vince Short, Larry Dickerson, I think they definitely saved enough fuel to be making it all the way to the end. It's gonna be an interesting question if Bittner can make it, if Pope can make it. I know Ricky Wittenberg, he was kind of towards the tail end of that thing. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it. Steve Singer was also making some moves in the middle of the pack. Man, it's gonna be very interesting thing to see here.
And we know the top 3 drivers up there right now are going to be working very well together. They're all good friends in real life. But yeah, Double O Joe, Vincent Short, Dickerson, you said it, Brown. Any of these guys got a shot, and if they're in a line that's moving well, expect some big runs and stuff here as this race kind of comes to a close here in just a few short laps.
Yeah, it's gonna close down quickly here. When we have about 9 laps to go, I say, let's send it, guys, and give it everything you can.
And speaking of closing things down, Turner, did you see the news that came out from NBC and the Golf Channel here?
No, they closing it down?
No. 2 of the greatest on-course people are leaving in 2025. Gary Koch and Roger Maltby no longer going to be with them as after 2025.
Oh, we got some time to still enjoy them.
Yeah.
Are they retiring or are they going somewhere else?
I think I got a feeling they might be heading on over to the Live. I didn't read the full article here, but
yeah, probably making more money.
Yeah. In response to your thing there, Casey, that's nothing that we can really do. You're gonna have to either find a way to get in contact with the HCK Beagles guys or get with Matt, and so you guys can kind of work together to talk to them about that. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't really do too much about it. We just pick numbers and pick people. That's all we do. As the pace car turns on down into pit lane here, we're gonna have 9 laps of beating and banger bumper grinding action here at Talladega left to go as this field makes its way on down through the tri-oval. 84 of Bittner with the 728 of Timothy Pope side by side, taken to the green flag here as we go back to racing side by side. They send it on down across the line into turns 1 and 2. Double O Joe Bennett giving a good push here to that 728 of Timothy Pope, but it's not going to be quite good enough to get him out in front of that 84 and the 747 of Albert Anderson. Vince Short still tucked up in here on that bottom line as well, as we book it on down this long back straightaway here. The 24 making some moves. Toby Collins moving up to that middle to high line here, trying to advance his position.
Timothy Stubblefield saying, have we had the big one yet? We had a couple that were pretty big. Most of it was secondary action, though. Dustin Eaton saying, come on, Pope, go out there and get it. And Casey Jones saying, let's finish this thing strong.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider what we've seen the big one. We have had some pretty good ones. But I think we're saving that big one maybe for the last few laps.
Probably the
It's-
last lap is we always see a big one coming out of 4.
That's my favorite part right there. I mean, that's where Ryan Newman almost did it. Or was that at Daytona?
Yeah, he almost met his maker. I think that was Daytona.
It's still the same type of track. That's where they really, really ramped the aggression up. But looks like they're 3 wide again.
Yeah, here they come. We knew it was a matter of time. The 69, Larry Dickerson, seeing some people
There it is.
behind him move up. Oh, almost clear. The one of Derek Welsh. Oh, they're still somewhat straight. Oh, the 66 going for a ride. The yellow flag will come out, though. And that's going to get everybody all grouped back up together. Really can't even call that one the big one either. Everyone seems
It
to
wasn't.
kind of sort of save it. I know we had some damaged cars out there, but
Weitzman just started wiggling and went up the track.
But if you
Got a hold of the
rewatch
one.
the thing, they actually held the ground pretty good. I mean, it definitely not the big one. Definitely not the big one, but it was an incident nonetheless. Brought out the caution, and there we go.
and Hoytsma went up the track, snagging the the one of Derek Welch there, but Matthew Jones getting collected with, I believe that was Chris Klein, kind of towards the tail end of this thing. I think under checkup, I think the 66 might have just got a little loosey-goosey on those brakes here. Oh, he gets snagged from behind during the checkup. That's what happened to him. Well, now the question is, this caution's gonna really help out the 84 Bittner, who I think out of everybody in this field, he's gonna be one of the closest ones on fuel. I know the other guys were close, but they should be able to make it, and it was really just a question mark for that 84. But with this caution, he should definitely make it now.
Yeah, I think everybody's good on gas now. Now he's up there with his buddy Tim Pope and his other buddy Albert Anderson. These guys are going to control both lines on the restart. They're going to be in a chat together, I'm sure, trying to coordinate this deal of when to get on it. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Right. Yeah, it looks like they're. Well, no, Albert Anderson's in the NTR.
There's so many leagues and so many teams and so many crossover drivers. It's hard to understand who's with who.
Anderson's the same chat as Double O Joe, who's right up there with him. So
Okay.
these guys are.
Here's the
They're all
deal.
buddies. They're gonna work well with each other.
Regardless, they're friends, and even if they're not on the same team, they'll know if it's time to work with somebody or not. This is where you know your enemy, you know your friend, you know your foe, and start, treating them as such. So
Well, Albert Anderson already in hot water with that Numb Thumbs Racing team. I mean, you heard it from Welch last week. He wasn't too happy with Albert, as he was able to push the Mike Adamson machine to a win last on Sunday in the Xfinity cars here, and of course I'm kind of half joking about that. It was a good race all around,
But you made a good point, because I personally thought he was teammates with Adamson, but that's in a different league, and the number one probably wanted him to be loyal to the number one. So, hey, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of friendly battles, but in the end, they're all pretty much friends here, so it all works out. We've had a really good race. I don't think anybody's wanted to fight anybody yet, so it's pretty good for being at Talladega. This is a tough track. Emotions sometimes get the best of you here.
Indeed, as our top 10 is currently set up like this: Bittner, Pope, Anderson, Bennett, Short, Collins, Ottinger, Dickerson, Singer, and Wittenberg all racing around up here. Still got Kelleher, Neff, Bryant, Klein, Blakesley, Amaral, Millett, Barish, Aldridge, Bowden, Conway, Hoytsma, and Welch all up on this lead lap. That is 23 drivers still on the lead lap. Matthew Jones is going to be one lap down. Same thing with Nick Coate. Looks like Matthew Smith is going to be a couple laps down. Same thing with Michael Dunn, with Mark Collins still sitting down there in the pits. I think he may have called it a night. So out of 28 cars taken to this grid, we still have 27 running.
That's not bad right there. That's a
That's
pretty
pretty
good
good
ratio.
for Talladega, ain't it?
It sure is. I mean, you do have 2 faster pairs here, but still, a lot of times guys will be. You usually lose at least 5 cars or trucks at Talladega, so we're doing pretty good here tonight.
That we are, as we take a look at that bumper camera out the back end of Josh Bittner, and that is the challenge he faces behind him here. We will have 4 laps to go once when the green flag waves here again, as they field a hungry drivers tries to hunt down this race win here tonight.
Yeah, as these guys go down the backstretch, approaching turns 3 and 4, what's going through these drivers' heads, guys? I think they're probably thinking, well, I got friendly guys around me, but they're not going to be my friends here in another couple of laps when all these points are on the line and podium finishes are on the line. So these guys are going to do for them now. They're not doing for the team now. They're doing for them.
Well, like Ricky Bobby says, you gotta shake and bake, but basically shake. Do it for yourself,
Yeah, man.
I'd be thinking, what I'm thinking is, what kind of hoodie can I get at trackdogsracing.com? Because it is getting cold out. Y'all need to check that out. Get yourself a hoodie or something.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, someone who is not wanting another caution to come out to send this thing into bonus time is that 84 Josh Bittner. While I was running around there in that bumper, I could hear him flipping that engine on and off. So he is in absolute fuel-saving mode here as we get ready to go back to this green flag racing with 4 laps left to go here to finish this one off here from Talladega. Side by side they go and line up and get started. 84, he gets a 1.5 miles worth of a jump. Problem is, no one is out there with him. Albert Anderson and Timothy Pope all hanging on back. I think Josh maybe have told Pope about it. Problem is, Pope didn't get the up and up going as we head on down into turns 1 and 2. Got to be watching here. We're going to have a checkup here in the middle of this field because Pope, he's going to continue running on this far outside lane as he catches on up to that 84. And that bottom line is probably going to have a pretty decent sized checkup here.
Yeah, when you restart like that at a plate track, you got to drag a little brake or something. You got to make sure they stay with you. And at least there's another TrackDogsRacing.com car out front, and that's Timothy Pope we talked about earlier.
Oh, it's the 84 breaks on down, and I think that's it gonna be for him. Tried to save as much as he could, but out of fuel as we come racing down back across the line, shaking up here as the 15 of Vince Short takes the lead, still shuffling up here at the front. The big ass fans machine of 76 of Ottinger slides on down as we go 3 wide down and across the line, beating and banging. Oh boy, here we go. Here is the big one.
Double
Oh my. What the hell? That's the big one, guys. Michael Dunn had a great view of it. Yeah, I was riding along with Michael Dunn. Oh my lord. Who went up in the air?
The 00 did, and Hoytsma did briefly.
Oh lordy.
Matt Jones disconnecting tonight. Too much damage. Good race out there, Chef.
Gee, who made it through that mayhem right there?
The answer is not a lot. I know Albert Anderson. The guys mainly kind of up on that bottom line, up at the front, I think, made it through. Ricky Wittenberg, I think, made it through here. Let's take a look as all Helter Skelter broke on loose. A little beating and banging there for the 52 of Wittenberg, but he was able to, for the most part, keep it on clean. Seas kind of parted for him here as we continue to reverse on back here as we move on up to see exactly what happened up here at the front, the 6 and the 69 and the 76 here. We were almost 4 wide here as the 728 was down against that yellow line. A little bump to the 76. There was a little bump from the 60 to the 69. The 69 up into the 6. And then there goes the 728. Albert Anderson immediately recognized what was going on. Talk about reactions of a race car driver there for that 747. Oh my goodness.
Like a cat.
Bailed out right when he needed to.
We call him the Puma. Just swung it down, got out of there.
Little
Tim Pope is throwing sparks.
Yeah, little help from the 60 of Brian Neff to help him get on down to that bottom lane. As, man, just look at that jumble of cars. Marbles flying everywhere. Everybody picking up damage. The 26 getting tagged. The 69 losing some wheels. The one of Derek Welsh able to avoid it for the most part here. But the 728, the double O Joe Machine as well getting snagged up in that one. You can see there, it looks like the 72 and the 70. The 53 goes for a wild ride. Oh my goodness, that was the big one.
Half the field had meatballs or black flags. It's too many to name.
Yeah, Tim Pope is getting everything squared away.
So, how about this for Bittner, who breaks on down into pit road right before this happens, running out of fuel. Now avoids the big one here at Talladega, gets topped up on fuel, comes back onto the track with a caution, and he's in the top 10 still.
That's incredible. That is incredible. And this is going to be a green-white checker. We're already into overtime, guys. So a lot of people that thought they might be safe on fuel, they're going to be pretty close. Somebody who's hoping they have enough, though, the birthday boy, fellow Air Force retiree and veteran, Vincent Short, still in that top spot right now. Let's see if he can hang on to it as these guys are going to restart here. Well, a couple more laps. We still got some yellow flag mileage to get out of the way here.
Well, he's going to have to drive with that rear view a little bit. He might have to block someone because they're going to be gunning for you. Talladega is not the place you really want to be in first place coming out of 4 because it gets wild and crazy.
And Yahtzee, we've got not just one green-white checker here. We got 3 possible if we need to use them.
That indeed. And just to update everybody on the rules here for a green-white checker finish, they will come across the line, take the green flag. They will run around there, do a lap. When and if the leader comes back around and crosses that line, they will take the white flag, and there will be no more cautions. The race will end on that lap no matter what. So even if there's another big one, people are going to have to try to figure out a way to make their way through that wreck and race back across the line. But if we do get another incident before that checkered line here, we will have another caution. But just based off of what we saw there on that last one, if that was a green-white checker, that thing would have been racing to the end because they had crossed the line and into turns 1 and 2 before the wreck happened there, Adam.
Yeah, and what's so exciting about the green-white checker is once they hit that white, it's like helter-skelter out there. What do you call it? You take the drinking helmet and you do something with it. All that.
I'll refresh your memory here after the back straightaway.
I hope so, because I hadn't heard you do that in a while, but it just gets a buck wild and so much fun on the green white checker.
Oh, it absolutely does. It reminds me, of the WWE, the no holds barred. You got chairs flying everywhere, people jumping off of ladders, and sledgehammers being pulled out of nowhere, and you got Undertaker throwing people off the top of a steel cage.
Ooh. Oh yeah, he was awesome, wasn't he? I loved the Undertaker.
He old. I think he's like 60 or 70 at this point. I think they've also gone through a couple variations of him. I think he's died a couple times.
Actually, probably has. But we're fixing to find out about the green-white checker here, and I'm really excited to see how it is. I do hope we only do one because I tend to like. I think the first one's always the most exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
I absolutely agree with you. And talking about fix up yourself a couple of beers here as we get ready to restack this one for a green, white checker finish. The pace car is moving on down into pit lane here, and that means it's time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, and throw inhibition out the window. It is time to go racing here. Green, white, checker finish from the Numb Thumbs Racing League Arca Series here tonight at Talladega. As they head on through the tri-oval into that Geico restart zone, we go. Green flag is out and underway. Just a few moments away to see if we can see these guys finish this one off strong and mighty as the 15 gets a good break here off the gun. The 24 gets a good start as well. He's going to jump down on that bottom line, try to aid in that 15, give him a big run with the big-ass fans of Jeff Ottinger sitting here in that bottom line as well. The 6 of Steve Singer making a move here on the outside lane as well, as here goes Vince Short up to the middle lane, trying to maybe do a little traffic management. That's going to send the 24 all the way up against the wall here. So we're going to be 3 wide as the 76 of Jeff Ottinger basically just had the C's part for him here. He's going to shoot up the gap and right on down up into the lead of this race through turns 3 and 4.
If I was Short, I would have stayed right where I was at. He got a blessing in disguise there. He got a great restart. The 24 kind of came down and bailed him out there. Oh, yellow's out.
Oh man,
Who has
happened back there?
everybody, let's take it easy, guys. Let's check it up, keep everyone's cars clean. But it looks like Larry Dickerson kind of towards the back end of this field having a little bit of an issue. Let's go back and take a look. We were a tight 3 wide at the very tail end of this thing. Ow, people getting snagged up. Looks like that was the 11 getting tagged in it as well. The 14 getting tagged. 69, 14, and the 70 all getting tagged up. Oh man, the 70 machine, not looking forward to that one. He was able to at least drive it out, but he's definitely going to be facing some damage here. So we're going to be able to get things restacked and re-racked here. And talk about having a blessing, man. That 15 of Vince Short, man, oh man, he basically gets a free do-over here.
Yeah, but I think when the yellow came out, he was probably in 4th position, maybe 3rd or 4th position.
It's showing him.
Well, you're right. Well, right now the field had to check out for their pace car and do all that stuff. So he's checking up here and waiting for everyone to get around. But
Alan, I think him and about 5 other cars, I think they're going to have to get gas. I don't think they're going to make it. They all pitted on lap 39 here, 39 and 40. This is the second green-white checker. We saw a couple of the other cars that were leading lines. They did already have to come down and get fuel. Ooh, it's decision time for these guys. Who we got out here? Ottinger, Anderson, Short, Kelleher, Collins, Toby Collins.
Yep. All last pitting back there on lap 39. Ooh,
I don't think
man.
they're going to make it, boy.
Well, and this is where I start talking about how this isn't just turning left. Everybody thinks NASCAR,
That's
you
right.
just turn left. And there's a lot of thought process involved. You know, it's even in iRacing here, it's a simulation, not a game. Everybody knows
Risk and
that.
reward.
But yeah, are they going to have fuel? They're going to run out of gas. We've seen them run out of gas near the end. That's pretty interesting, right? So teammate strategy, fuel strategy, tire strategy, it all comes into play, and we're going to see it probably all come together here at the end of this thing. Tell you what, drink the Busch Light for my veteran friends. Thank you all.
Drinking some 6 of Hearts beer from the brewery.
It's good to support your local brewery, your local businesses,
Absolutely, yeah.
and your businesses that are sponsors here on iRacing. Check them out. I think we've run through the gamut on them.
You can always look for veteran-owned businesses too. There's a lot of them out there. I have to work for one. Veterans Day, Remembrance Day. A lot of emotions out there. We talked about Dave Hoytsma's car earlier with the tribute on there for Henry Hoytsma, and I didn't really catch it until later on in the race, but he does have a gold star on the back fender of that machine, and if you don't know what a gold star family member is, it's a family member that lost someone in a conflict, a military member in conflict, a member of their family. So if you know the flags you see in people's yards that have the blue star, that means that they have that many family members serving currently. If you see gold stars on a flag, that means they've lost family members. So, gold star family is always in our heart on days like Memorial Day and Remembrance Day in Canada.
And should be every day, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they. I can't imagine the hell that some families have to go through losing a member of their family overseas. But man, we still got some guys in this race tonight. A few more meatball flags and white flags still being served out there. But our second of 3 available green-white checkers coming up. Things coming down to the wire. It's the excitement is palpable at this point.
Indeed, as speaking of palpable, going around here, Mountain Dew has an official delivery bird. Didn't know if you knew that there,
What?
Turner. They do, and they had a poll out there because it is the season for polling and votes and whatnot, and they were wondering what they should name it. And the winning name, with a vote of 66% to 34%, the bird name is Gary.
Gary the bird.
Yeah, it beat out Birdie Birderson.
I knew that was gonna happen. That happened in Britain with that ship.
Oh,
Remember when they
Bodie
had the
McBoatface.
contest? Bodie McBoatface. And what was it with the High Point Firearms? They had the
Duct
they had
tape. That's
no,
all
it
they
was
need.
the was the
A high
yeet.
point, you just
The
put some
yeet
duct
cannon.
tape on the handle.
So
Those
they
things are trash.
They had a contest to name a new pistol, and of course the internet named it the Yeet Cannon.
I can get
my
behind that.
God.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but they just put it's electrical tape they use for the handles on those pieces.
Yeah,
of
it
junk.
really is.
Man, I thought Gary was the bird for Twitter. I get so confused now.
Well, what's not confusing is we're coming back to green flag racing with the 76 of Jeff Ottinger. Going to lead this thing off with the 747 of Albert Anderson on his outside. 15 Vince Short tucked up behind him here with the 315 of Zach Millett finding his way back up here to the front, entering that Geico restart zone once again. As we head on down to green-white checker attempt number 2. They head on down and across the line. The 76, I think, realizing he got such a big jump, trails the brake just a little bit. Gets that 15 tucked up back up to him here. That's going to allow that outside lane, trying to get a big run, a big push for Albert Anderson. Not able to get it done, though, as right back up to speed goes that 76 in the 15.
Getting intense back here. The 1 is 3 wide right now with Wittenberg and the 53.
Oh, getting squeezed down by the 60. The 1 with nowhere to go, beating and banging in 3 and 4. We're going sideways. Oh,
Third
no.
round. Another big one. Oh,
Well,
man.
that
60.
the one pull a bully move. What in the world was happening there?
I think the one got squeezed.
Yeah, it wasn't on him. Let me see what's happening. I can't blame the number 1 for anything. You know, he does sign our contracts. Let's see here. But there were. Oh, he did get squeezed. He was in a weird spot on the track, though, wasn't he?
Kind of. He was trying to pinch down and hold that middle lane. It looks like the 60 of Brian Neff tucked down just a little too much, and the 1 really nowhere to go. Gets involved with that car underneath him. The 52 of Wittenberg. The 53 goes for a ride. The 24 goes for a ride. Oh, man. I think that's the 62 or the 92 of Michael Dunn going for a ride. Looks like Steve Singer. Yeah, that's Singer. Collins. Amaral was still down in the pits getting stuff done. Same thing with Matthew Smith getting stuff on done. So, man, everybody getting beaten and banged out there here tonight.
Yeah, Derek Welch had put himself in a weird spot, but I mean that's kind of happens in racing. Didn't have time to get out of it, but the guy that got him out of that spot by kind of just dooring him a little bit is the number 60 of Brian Neff, and look who's directly in front of him right now. Maybe,
Oh, that's interesting.
maybe we can see some kind of fighting.
I can't see you on camera, but I can feel you just rubbing your hands together going,
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for this.
like Gargamel
Here-
when he's got a plan for the Smurfs, you know? He's
I'm
rubbing his
hoping.
hands
So
together.
here you go, English, to answer your question. Ottinger down to the pits. Short down to the pits. Aldridge,
I knew it.
Blakesley, Wittenberg. Those guys also had damage, though, coming on down into the pits. So the question remains, does America's driver have enough fuel? He is the lone car left out there who last pitted back on lap 39. Man, oh man, is he going to be sipping on those fumes?
Yeah, he's right now he's shutting his car off. You can see him, going forward and back there, accordion style. Yeah, he's definitely trying to save every bit of fuel he can, every drop. I don't know. I don't think he does. I don't think he completes, 2 laps under full acceleration. I don't think it's going to happen. Stranger things have happened.
I tend to agree with you, but yeah, we have seen guys that have pitted on the same.
They're
same
able
pit
to
strategy,
stretch the
and
mileage.
One would be able to stretch it, one did not. So
I don't think he's going to make it. I think
well,
Anderson's
doing?
going to run out of fuel, and you're going to see one of these guys from about 8th place probably win this thing.
you know what Albert's doing right now? America's driver he just pulled into Papa Joe's. He's got a pistol in his boot and dice in one hand, and he was walking into the back of the place because that's where all the stuff happens back there, and he's about to roll that dice. If he rolls snake eyes, he's done for. But we'll see what he rolls here at the end of this thing. Good luck to you. I can't wait to see it. This will be our final one, Brown. So
Yeah, either
that's
way,
the best part about it.
this is our final attempt at a green-white checker finish here tonight. So using up every single one of them here as we get things all stacked up, racked up, and ready to rumble here in just a minute. And speaking of rolling snake eyes here, Turner, what do you want to roll when you're rolling dice?
Well, it depends on what game you're playing. So I like to play this thing called high-low, but down there in the other part of Houston, they play this other game. So it just depends on what part of town or the country you're in. But I know this: when you're in Waco, don't roll snake eyes. It's not good.
315 a Millet's going to be starting on the outside. Derek Welch, he's going to be right on the back bumper there. And he's going to have the 00 of Joe Bennett right behind him as well. I guarantee you they're having a discussion, the guys that are in channels with each other about fuel mileage. They know Albert Anderson's close. They know he might not make it. I don't think he's going to make all these laps under acceleration, but we're going to see here. He's got the 60 of Neff, who's done a great job. Those guys have worked together so well tonight, pushing each other. And, I like his chances, but I don't like that. I think he's going to be out of gas here, boys.
Man, not quite sure.
I mean, he obviously has confidence that he's going to make it. He wouldn't have stayed out if he didn't think he had a shot at it. But look at these other guys, Short and Bittner, and these guys that had to pit late. They're still in the top 10 here.
Well, if he's still leading and there is a caution flag thrown, Brown, what happens then? They keep
Freeze.
racing
Hey,
out, or
they
does
feel-
it just freeze the field, right?
Freezes the
Yeah.
field.
So maybe that's his gamble right there. Well, hopefully we get a chance to talk to him after the race. We'll see.
Possibly, as we all head on down into turns 3 and 4. Eyes on every single one of these drivers. We got 16 cars on this lead lap trying to fight for the race win here tonight, with Chris Klein in that 16th spot. James Bowden, Slim, the coach, however you want to call him, 53 back there as well. Oh! Someone's going around.
I got spun under caution.
Dude, what?
55 got spun under caution, it looks like.
Here
we go in the restart zone.
They are, as Albert Anderson leading this field on down into the tri-oval. Will be interesting to see if they maybe re-rack this one up, but...
Yep, they just did. They
And
extended the caution one lap.
That's not good for Albert if he's running low on
No,
fuel.
it's not.
Let's kind of take a look back to see what happened with the 55 here. Oh, the whole field got stacked up. I think Albert ran out of fuel right there.
Oh, man.
Because he slowed down a ton. And it just stacked up the entire field, and the 55 just goes off and spin it. And then I think he hit the incident limit.
Yeah, Barish is out. He got DQ'd.
Kind of like watching a baseball game. You never know what you're going to see an anomaly at some point. And that was something we saw.
Well,
something weird happened.
But then again, now you look at Albert Anderson. Now he's back up and right. So I wonder if he just accidentally hit the wrong button. And
you know what he did? He kept the engine killed for a lot longer that time, probably.
Yeah, he was clutching it or whatever.
Yeah, he's shutting the ignition off and then restarting it by dumping the clutch. And I think he just had it killed for a lot longer time, maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
Yeah.
Saving as much gas as he can for the final lap here, if we
Well,
ever get to it.
If it's as bad as we're talking about, how nervous is he right now?
Albert's one of those guys, though, Adam. We know him. I mean, if he does run out of gas, he's going to take a hard left. He's just going to go down and let the rest of the field go. He's not going to try to hold nobody up. So.
Well, you speak about nervousness there, Turner. It's the same thing. How nervous do you think Chastain was when he sent that thing up and around the wall at Martinsville, right? You either get it done or you don't, and I think that's Albert's thinking here is that, well, either I get it done with some fuel or I got nothing left and that's it.
Yeah.
So just F and send it, which is what the pace car is doing here. Send it on down into pit lane as we get things racked and stacked here in the tri-oval. Into that Geico restart zone we go. The final green-white checker underway here at Talladega. Anderson with a good restart. No help from the 60 of Brian Neff, though. Immediately behind him here is the 315 pinching way down low on that 60 machine. Trying to get a little bit of side draft, get a little bit of that extra boost of speed. There goes the 60, looking to the outside. That's a 728 now moves up behind the 747.
Here we go. Big push from Pope to the back end of Albert Anderson. He got him loose. He's down on the apron.
Anderson trying to figure out a way to rejoin this racetrack with Brian Neff on that far outside lane up against the wall. You got the 315 stuck in the middle with the 728 with a big push of Josh Bittner, who got lucky with one of those cautions here, pushing that 728 out to the front on this bottom line. 3 wide racing throughout this field as we head on back down into the tri-oval. Here we go. Little beating and banging between the 76 and the 60 down and across the line. So here we go. White flag. We are racing this one all the way to the end. Side by side we go down into turns 1 and 2. Beating and bang. There goes the 315, the 76 down onto the apron as a shuffle and bustle continues to break its way on through the field here at Talladega. Down this long back straightaway, though, the 84 and the 728 working together like they have all race long. Absolutely no pressure from behind right now. now, but here comes that 15 trying to push that 60 up on that middle lane. The one of Derek Welch trying something, trying to beg and plead his way on that far outside lane as they exit turn number 4. 3 wide here for the race lead. Pope, Neff, and the 15 side by side. They go into the tri-oval, breaking down the last 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Finn short by a millisecond, steals it away from Timothy Pope.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The outside line worked right there. They worked together. Short won. I can't believe Short just won it by 16 thousandths.
Oh, wow. That was amazing, actually. What in the world? And he just kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't focused on that.
Bittner ended up 5th. I thought he was good. For sure got a podium coming out of the tri-oval. But wow, what a finish here at Talladega. We're going to be watching this one over and over. I guarantee you that.
And Veterans Day and birthday, and he got a victory.
Incredible.
And, I think Derek was hollering at him, number 1, "You're welcome." Because Derek, I guess, pushed him there to the end.
And there you go, everybody. That is your race finish right there. Out of nowhere, the 84 and the 728 trying as they might on that bottom lane, trying to pick up that first and second here. But with the big push from that far outside lane, the 1 and the 15 get the job done, with the 60 of Neff doing as best as he can, hanging on there in 3rd.
That's an incredible finish there, boys. I mean, and it was clean. We didn't see the, 20 cars wrecking each other coming across the finish line. We saw guys pushing their buddies, pushing other team members, pushing strangers. And guys just trying to do everything they could cleanly to finish this race in as good a spot as possible.
Yeah, nobody.
Incredible.
Nobody crashed at the coming out of 4 like we normally see. They held it together and made it real clean finish. Really, really fun to watch right there at the end.
You can just see that smile on the 15's face, man. You can just tell he is so happy about picking up this win here tonight. Enjoying all those. Those are solid freaking donuts too, man. Holy crap. Talk about uniform. Man, that takes some skill to do a burnout like that.
He's burning up every. Hey, he just got fuel, so he's got loads to burn. Might as well just burn all of it. Get out there, Vince, enjoy it. Burn every bit of fuel you got left in
And
the
here comes the one of Derek Welch to do. Well, that's, if you ever wondered how baby cars were made in the movie Cars, that's how it's done right there.
Nicky Short, of course, very happy. Oh, man. What a night for the 15. What a night for these other cats, too. Tim Pope, solid race all night, up 17 spots. Brian Neff, not just being a great pusher, but, doing a great job out there, leading a few laps himself. Solid drive out there for Brian. Derek Welch, Josh Bittner, Ricky Wittenberg with a 6th place, only a 10th off of the lead. Whew. Ricky led a few laps out there in that turkey drop WKRP car.
Man, oh man. Always love finishes like that here in iRacing. Anytime that it comes down and across the line just like that, man, oh man, it just it stands your hair up, man. It's why we love broadcasting it, why we love watching it, and why I honestly
it's like a horse race, man.
It's why I personally prefer watching these races here in iRacing than I do in the real life NASCAR.
Yeah, I could tell you were into it on that last lap. Great call, by the way, on that last lap, Alan. It's great to see one of our sponsors on the hood of a car that wins the race. Track Bar Media on the hood of that 15 ends up winning this thing tonight. It's always good to see the sponsors get some good camera time.
That indeed. Well, we do have some drivers jumping on down there into the podium chat, so let's go ahead and start us off with tonight's second place finisher, 728 of Mr. Timothy Pope. Tim, man, it came down to it. That dang final extra 200 feet from where, you'd normally see the start-finish line in the middle of the tri-oval. We always say it comes down to that extra 200 feet as that line is just a little further, and that's exactly what got you here today. But, man, the 84 was giving you all he could do to push you for this win, man. Heck of a run here to finish in second.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Bittner he tried, but came up a little short. That was a close one.
Yeah, and it almost looked to me, I watched the replay a few times, and I thought to myself, I said, I wonder if he hadn't touched you just too much there, because it did kind of upset your car a little bit. I wonder if you would have crossed first if he didn't give you that last little touch. But that's something we'll never be able to know. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, I'm not sure either, because I pulled it down a little bit too, because you know how everybody likes to wreck coming across the line. So I pulled it down a little bit, tried in case they start wrecking. I wouldn't get hit, but that could have broke her speed just a little bit.
We got a short track next week, Southern National. Historic, iconic track. We know you're not the big short track fan, but have you run at Southern? Are you looking forward to it? Let us know.
No, I don't think I've ever run there, so I might have to run a few laps before I get into the race here next week.
Well, as usual, we see up here on the podium. Great job again tonight. Veteran move, like you said, trying to pull down there, expecting the big crash that just didn't happen. But great job tonight. You have any shout-outs?
Oh, yeah. Everybody on this Track Dogs KOK team here. Josh Bittner, Ricky, Simon, he ain't here tonight, and Mike, he's not here either. Shout out to them guys. Numb Thumbs were putting this fun races on. You guys were doing good on the broadcast. Awesome job on the broadcasting.
Awesome, Tim. Well, we appreciate it, brother. Congratulations, up 17 spots. Hard charger of the day, finishing here tonight in second place, and we can't wait to see you back out here on the track again coming up next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And looks like Brian Neff not joining us here, so we will move on up to tonight's race winner. Oh, never mind. There he is at the last second. At the very last second, we get to talk to one too many drags there. We get to talk to that 60 machine of Brian Neff. Man, oh man, Brian, try as you might. You were having a heck of a run out there, trying to pick up something in the middle, but just coming up shy here in a solid third place finish, though. Kind of walk us through those final green-white checker restarts for you.
I was just trying to stay ahead of Welsh there as good as I could, but I haven't been around here very long, and a little tough having friends at the end of this one. But a lot of fun, a lot of good racing, a lot of close, clean racing up front. Had a lot of fun.
That's something we've seen out of Numb Thumbs Racing League, even in this Arca series, which is technically a beginner league kind of, but we saw a lot of guys. You could tell who's got experience out here, and we could definitely tell that you and that Winn-Dixie number 60. You're one of those guys that's patient. You're a great pusher. You can hold the line really well. So, yeah, man, we knew that you were going to be somewhere up there, in the mix at the end. But next week's a totally different animal. Y'all going to a short track. Y'all going to Southern National. Talk about not making friends. I mean, short tracks, it's kind of notorious for that, ain't it?
Yeah, it's notorious for it. It's more up my sleeve than this big track racing, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Track position is going to be huge next week. These cars here, like tonight, I don't know if you guys noticed, but you could push a guy, but as soon as the rear of his car would start to lift a little bit, you kind of had to feather it but you could stay right on him down the straightaway. But if you pushed a little too hard, he'd get real squirrely. So it was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, the Arca cars are they're dangerous here, but you got to kind of know what you're doing, and you definitely did tonight. Great job, interesting finish. You have anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Just all my buddies at Can-Am Racing and Ron Henry for spotting for me a little bit tonight, and everybody at the league. Like, I'm having a great time over here. Even when it's not a good night, the racing is good. So I really appreciate them letting me run over here. Maybe eventually might move up a little bit.
Well, it couldn't have been too bad of a night finishing up here on the podium here. Congratulations, Brian. We look forward to seeing you guys back in action again here next week.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Hey, I enjoy the broadcast, too. You guys do a great job.
Well, thank you. That's cool.
was
I'd like to hear that.
That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
After that little false start penalty we had, we now go up to tonight's race winner, the birthday man here on Veterans Day, and a veteran here himself, the 15 of Vince Short. And man, that smile just says every single word available here, man. Congratulations picking up that win. I know it was hard fought, and man, oh man, as always, another wild finish at a fantastic plate track.
Most definitely, man. I tell you what, I saved a lot of fuel, man. I was good to go till we had that last yellow, and my teammates were, wondering, what I was going to do. And I was like, dude, I'm down to about 1.4. I don't think I'm going to have enough with these pace laps, so I'm going to duck down and get fuel. And then the plan, I told Zach on the plan on the restart was I told him I was going to full send on the outside and take that third lane and hope somebody goes with me. And luckily, it opened up just perfect. And then Derek got behind me, like last time at Talladega when he helped me and pushed me to the win. So kudos and thanks, big thanks to Derek.
Well, congrats and thanks for your service, brother. And happy birthday. And what a great finish out here today. It was so close. I mean, when Alan was calling it, he gets really excited. And I'm trying to watch several different cars at once. I had no idea who won this thing. When all y'all come flying across the start-finish line. But definitely an exciting race. I didn't expect it to go to 3 green-white checkers, but it did. I'm glad you had enough gas. A lot of guys out there did not.
Yeah, I was sitting pretty good. I had done really good conserving fuel for the last, 2 or 3 yellows, man. I was sitting good, and then slowly but surely guys started dropping off the top off, so it just moved me up a little further, and then that last one, I told Zach, I said, I can't stay out here because I'm just going to shoot myself in the foot. I'd rather try to get at least a decent finish with fuel in the tank. So luckily, I had the right cars around me at the right time that moved to the outside. Coming around on the white, the guy stayed tucked, which worked for me. So I went wide, and then Derek saw me go wide. He went with me, and I got a heck of a push. I knew the main thing was just to have a really smooth straight line coming off of Ford so that we got a real good push.
Well, you got the trifecta here. It sounds like your birthday, Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, and you won the Talladega race. That's a pretty good day, I think. If you're into iRacing, and you
Hopefully got his free Denny's this morning.
I would hope so. Maybe a free beer somewhere. You earned it. Go celebrate this. Who are you going to thank?
First off, my wife. My wife's my biggest cheerleader. She was standing right at the doorway at a delay on the broadcast, so she didn't see it as quick as I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, and she's standing there, and finally she saw it. She's like, you won. Yeah, we had a great day. It's been an outstanding day. I got to spend the morning at a Veterans Day program with my granddaughters. I got to see my goddaughters. Wonderful presentation by North Main Middle School. Then went and had lunch with my son, my wife at Red Robin. Yum.
There you go.
And then did a little
in the BX or
no. We went to Champaign, Illinois. That's where my son lives. So we went out there to the Red Robin. That's kind of my favorite place. So we went out there and then did a little window shopping, and then come home, took a little bit of a rest nap, get ready for the race, and luckily everything worked out for me. My main thing was to stay clean, and we decided to stay in the back for a while after that first accident, and I was able to keep it clean, was able to keep a quick repair in my pocket for later in case of one of the green white checkers. We had a big one. It just worked out perfect. I couldn't have planned it any better. You know, the seas parted, and you know, one of the best guys in this league. He runs it. Derek Welch helped me to the win, and I truly appreciate it. Numb Thumbs Racing, one of the best leagues around. These guys are outstanding guys, fun to race with, just all around great guys.
Awesome, Vince. Well, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Go and celebrate with a few extra brewskis here. And we'll see you guys back out here in action, and we absolutely cannot wait. Good job, man.
Thank you. Just one last one, guys. I'm sorry. I wanted to thank my brother and my nephew, Kyle and Landon, my mom, Janet, the Holler Boys Racing team as a whole helped tonight. Zach, Carson, Steve, Numb Thumbs Racing, my main sponsor, Track Bar Media, Holler Boys Racing TV, Holler Boys Racing, Two Blessings Thrift Store, Black Acid Apparel. Thanks to all of them, man. It was a great race. You guys did a great broadcast. Thank you, and happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans out there that sacrificed. Love you guys.
And with that, my blood pressure still is up through the roof, but hey, that's okay. Whenever we get to see a fantastic race like we did here tonight, we finally get to close this one off here from Talladega, boys.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. What a crazy finish, and you know, glad to see it end like it did instead of in a pile of mangled cars. So happy for that.
Yeah, Vince Short said it best. I mean, I can't top what he said. Thank you to all the veterans out there. Thank you to him. Thank you to you, English, for your service and everybody. So, great race, man.
It was. So, as we wind things down here, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished up here tonight. And of course, that starts us off with that 15 of Vince Short picking up the race W out of nowhere. I got Timothy Pope with a big push from Josh Bittner there. Just not quite enough to get it done here at the end, but a hell of a finish there for Timothy Pope in second. Brian Neff fought his way into a top 3 podium spot. Good job there for the 60 machine. The one to Derek Welsh, all the pushing in the world for that 15 machine, brings home a 4th place finish in the one. You got the 84 of Josh Bittner coming back from running out of fuel, getting a couple lucky cautions here and there, and fought his way back and almost looked like he was going to race for a podium spot here, but with a solid 5th place finish. He's got his teammate Ricky Wittenberg here with a good finish as well in that 52 machine here in 6th. Chris Klein in the 13, bringing home a solid 7th place finish here tonight, as well as Zach Millett in the 315. He was all over around here in the front of this field for quite a while. He's able to walk home with an 8th place finish. You got Nick Coate having a solid race as well. Started up at the front, but still finished able inside this top 10 here in 9th, with looks like in 10th. The 00 machine rounds it out here for the final top 10 spot.
Let's see, 11th, we've got Josh Kelleher in the 73. Up a whole bunch of spots, man. He had one heck of a race in that car, and he'll finish in 11th. 12th place will be James Bowden. Slim did the best he could out there. Only dropped a couple of spots from where he started. That 53 machine will finish 12th. 13th place, Peyton Aldridge in the 26. We saw him smack the wall a couple of times, but still finished on the lead lap. So a good job by him. 76 of Jeff Ottinger in the Big Ass Fans Chevrolet finished in 14th place. Last car on the lead lap. Albert Anderson, 1 lap down. The only car 1 lap down. And man, if he wouldn't have run out of gas, he would have been near the front here at the end. But he'll finish in 15th place. 16th, Tom Barish in the 55. 97 of Toby Blakesley finishes in 17th. 18th will be Robert Amaral in the 70 machine. The 24 of Toby Collins finished in 19th place, up 4 spots on the day. Let's see, Steve Singer in the 6 machine. The Holler Boys Racing TV car started in 6th place. He will finish and round out your top 20 here.
Yeah, it looks like 21st, the 03 of Dylan Bryant. 22nd, 79 Dave Hoytsma. 23rd will be the 14 of Matthew Smith. 24th to 69 Larry Dickerson. 25th to 72 of Carson Conway. 26th to Chef Matthew Jones. Right there in the 66 machine. 27th to 61 of Michael Dunn. 28th to number 23 of Mark Collins. And looks like that's it right there. Dave Holmberg, did he not grid? I don't think.
Does not look like it. So that is your field here tonight. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a fantastic racing viewing experience with each and every one of y'all, because y'all are the reason why we do this and have such a good time doing it as well. Of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't just yet, and hit that notification bell, as we are live 5 nights a week, and you don't want to miss any race in action, because you get to see finishes like this pretty much all 5 days, and it always gets fun and exciting. And be sure to hit that thumbs up button so we can cram that YouTube algorithm with likes and get more and more people involved in this one. As well as getting involved, we talk about our great race sponsors such as Davidson Builders up there in that northern New Jersey area. Be sure to look them up if you're looking to remodel or get some extension work done or anything like that. You got JP Designs and 3D prints, button boxes, iRacing paint schemes, pretty much everything under the sun there done by him. Be sure to get in contact over there. You can contact him here in the Discord. Admin box as well, the premier button box solution for race control admins, where throwing cautions, black flags, wave arounds, whatever have you, all done at the push of a button. Thank you, Admin Box, for providing that great service. Of course, always got to talk about simgearcentral.com. One of the best button box places with all the flips, styles, knobs, whatever have you, all available at your fingertips to increase your sim experience. Also have trackdogsracing.com. Saw one of their drivers finish up here on this podium, and be sure to go over there and finish or get some merchandise here from Track Dogs Racing with all your Numb Thumbs Racing League swag, whether it's mugs, sweatshirts, anything like that, as well as Track Bar Media. Be sure to go check them out, as they have a fantastic photos and videos created of iRacing as well as real life racing. So be sure to go give them some clicks and some likes. And same thing with Country Through the Ages, your proud replay sponsor here tonight. Get the down low on how country music is here today, from the early beginnings to what is now kind of little kind of okay side of country music, I would say, here today. But especially if you love the old stuff and want to learn more about it, be sure to go and check out countrythroughtheages.com. Well, that does it here for us tonight. We will be live here once again on Sunday with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Xfinity Series coming back out, and they're going all the way up to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And boy, oh boy, those are some tough cars to drive around a tough track. Be sure to join us on that one, as we're going to have a fun and wild ride there on Sunday night. But until Sunday, I am Alan Brown. For my good friends Alan English and Adam Turner, we thank all our veterans here once again, whether you're here or abroad. And we recognize our Canadian brethren's Remembrance Day and recognize their great sacrifices that they have made for their country up to our north as well. We sign off here for tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.
We gone.
See ya.